2014 was a milestone year in the history of Morecambe. I have been making successful heritage videos for the last 11 years about the area, with no help, no financial help whatsoever from the local authorities or any sponsorship, and I decided to record some of the major events taking place throughout this year. This film is a record of that year, made with the help of my friends from Morecambe movie makers. For many years the town council has overseen its decline, but this year local people decided that the only way forward was to stage a range of events to bring people back to the town. And people came in their tens of thousands, much to the dismay of the council. But the year began as the previous one ended, with torrential storms testing the flood defence system to its limit.
A huge storm is blowing across the UK. It's causing massive disruption in Scotland, in Northern Ireland, and a lot of England. Trains have been cancelled, electricity's been knocked out, and there are flood warnings in place in some areas. Julie, tell me then what's happening to passengers who are waiting to travel?
Now, at the moment, they've been told that they're just going to have to wait and see. The police are advising people not to travel if at all possible, trying to postpone their journeys if they can. For people who are trying to go on the rail networks, they've been told that the trains will not be running until this afternoon. They've been suspended since earlier this morning because of the number of fallen trees and debris on the track. Now,
What about the roads?
well, the roads have been pretty badly disrupted. I mean, the storm peaked between 7 and 9 o'clock this morning. That was right in the middle of rush hour, and as a result, it was a lot of delays. There's been a lot of fallen trees, a lot of debris on the roads, and that's caused delays. We've also had some instances of flooding in some parts of the country.
And recording the weekly life of our town is the Visitor newspaper. I think we'll have a look at some of the events, because obviously the Visitor is at the forefront of everything that happens in Morecambe anyway, as we can see by the headlines on here, and which I think we might see that picture later on in the film. So tell me a little bit about the things that you think have happened, and what's been the major stuff in Morecambe this year in the way of events.
I think there's been a lot of positive things happened in Morecambe. I think the comeback of the Morecambe Carnival was a tremendous success and pulled in tens of thousands of people to town, which is always nice, because we used to get that all the time, and now these events are fewer and far between. So I think that, and also the second Morecambe Vintage by the Sea Festival, which also, I think there was over 40,000 people, wasn't there, over the 2 days, which was absolutely fantastic to see the prom so busy in nice weather as well. So that was great. And also, on a not as positive note, but it may lead to positive things, was what happened to poor old Eric, the Eric Morecambe statue, which I think was certainly the most emotional story of the year that I covered, being there on the day. I think I was the first journalist on the scene when he was hacked down in his prime and lying face down on the back of a council lorry, having been attacked by that man.
There was so much developed from there, and so many people in Morecambe got really hot under the collar about this, didn't they?
Yeah, well, I did. I mean, I was very upset that someone would do that, which on one hand seems a little silly when you think it's only a statue, as people say, but you know, we refer to him in the paper all the time as Eric. We don't call him the Eric Morecambe statue. We just say Eric. Oh, Eric's back, or people are posing by Eric.
Well, I think I'm going to cover that quite fully later on. As, the reasons, everything from blood-stained hacksaw blades through to being repaired in the foundry. I went down to London to film that part, so we might see a little bit more about that later on. What else do you think was important on the event side this year?
I think that the starting of the building of the Heysham to M6 Link Road will be a very significant story. You know, as you know, when it opens, I think it's something that. I mean, it divided people, but I think the